What's going on, folks? Welcome to the show. Again, I've been notified that my notifications are not being distributed as they should be. I don't know what's going on, but I'm asking that you guys check in occasionally, just look in on me and make sure that I'm putting out content, and you check out the new shows as you see them. I'll try to make them available in every way that I can. But if you can take a moment to like, share, and subscribe on the content, also hit that notification button, I would appreciate it. Hopefully it'll help with the algorithm and reignite it, or whatever it needs to do to get it to work correctly. But today, I guess I've got to go back to the usual suspects. These transgender folks, they're just taking over, and I would be remiss if I didn't keep you informed on their exploits. So today I'm going to talk about this acquisition of the Miss Universe pageant. This is a organization that was developed long time ago for men's enjoyment. Men would get a chance to look at attractive women and take pleasure in that. Women would look at the pageants also and basically see where they lined up. This has been like a tradition that's been going on, forever, televised, people competed for it. And now you got a situation where transgendered transgendered persons and females will have to compete against each other for the title of the most beautiful person in the universe, which is strange. But this is where we are nowadays. We have to, accept this, the delusion of inclusion, and I don't know. I just don't know what to think about it. I mean, I now, up is down, down is sideways, and sideways is zigzagged. It's just I don't know what to say about it. But this transgender Miss Universe owners, she bought it. And bought it from Donald Trump, and she gave this, hair-raising speech during the proceedings, and we're going to take a look at that. Okay, so give me a moment here. We're going to go up here. We're going to look at the presentation here and see what's going on here. All right, there we go. So as you can see here, there's a BBC article that basically is talking about the transgender tycoon and how she buys the Miss Universe contest. This was on the 27th October of 22 last year. Okay, and it says Miss Jakra Jatudatip has been outspoken about her experiences as a transgendered woman. Okay, a Thai celebrity media tycoon who is a transgender woman has bought the company that runs the Miss Universe pageant for $20 million. Okay. All right. Okay, Anna Jakapong Jakrajudatip is the boss of JKN Global Group, which makes television shows in Thailand. And Thailand is the home of ladyboys. I guess the closest approximation to what I guess attractive women look like over there. You also have them in the Philippines and whatnot. This has been going on for quite a while, but with surgery, it has become a lot more complex and a lot harder to detect. So, and the ease of the procurement of hormones, female hormones, in order to further change one's appearance. So we'll go on with the article here, and it says she has starred in the Thai versions of popular reality shows Project Runway and Shark Tank. Okay. Her purchase of the company, which was once co-owned by Donald Trump, comes as the pageant becomes more inclusive. Here we have that word again. All right. Miss Chakrajunatip has been outspoken about her experiences as a transgender woman. She said in a statement that the Miss Universe organization was a strong strategic addition to her company's portfolio. Okay, so that word strategic, you guys keep that in mind, okay? Because, they would have you believe that these are just willy-nilly procurements of, assets and television shows and media companies and all of these things. But they don't want you to think that they're actually trying to control what you see and hear with regard to what's feminine, what's a woman, what's not a woman, what's going to be educational with regard to this new trans ideology, which is going to be directed at the kids. They say that none of this is happening, but for some reason it's happening. So let's move on here. Okay, she said in a statement that the Miss Universe organization was a strong strategic addition to her company's portfolio. We seek not only to continue its legacy of providing a platform to passionate individuals from diverse backgrounds, cultures, and traditions, but also to evolve the brand for the next generation, she added. Okay, let's decipher that. Okay. So she's saying to provide a platform to passionate individuals. So that means, these individuals who are going to be almost zealots in trying to push this agenda in a way that's beneficial to them and their cause. Okay. And then, this diverse backgrounds, that means there's going to be feminists. That means they're going to be black feminists. That means they're going to be black gays and black trans. All those folks are going to be working for inclusion of them and exclusion of the things that are heterosexual. Okay. Whereas you see, you think about how many gay people you see just in your day-to-day interactions and whatnot, or trans people that you see. I thought about that and I said, you know what? I'd see one or two, maybe. Going to work, I would see one or two. In my day-to-day, running around, I don't see hardly any, Actually, I don't see any at all. Okay. But then if I were to watch Disney or some sort of program, then the inclusion is going to make sure that I see 50% or more of gay representation in whatever it is that I'm watching, whether it be cartoons, whether it be comic book characters or action shows, whether it be comedy, whether it be horror. I'm going to see some type of gay representation that's going to be more than I would see in my day-to-day life. And I'm supposed to be okay with that. Being force-fed this inclusion that they feel is more appropriate now. Okay. And I think I've talked about this before. There was an article where they were talking about, we know that black farmers have had, years of problems trying to get resources and, representation with the Department of Agriculture and whatnot. Even though that their participation in agricultural, activities in this country goes all the way back to slavery. Yet they have no little access to the resources that the other farmers, the white farmers, have. There's some systematic, exclusion of these individuals. Yet now there's an active program to actually seek out these transgendered and gay farmers in order to give them resources. They're not even looking for the resources. They're going out and looking for them so that they can give them some money, give them some seed, give them some whatever help that they need. So these are the types of things that are happening now. So like I said, gay is the new black, and we see it. It's almost worldwide. So anyway, let's move on. Okay. So this last part here, where they're free from individuals from diverse backgrounds, cultures, and traditions. Okay, I already covered that. But also to evolve the brand for the next generation. So that little part right there needs to be deciphered. And that means we're going to make sure that your kids are accepting of this, because we're going to give it to them at a young age in order for them to think that this is normal and to basically just go about their daily lives as if this is just normal. And I just touched on that a little bit because it's going to be in cartoons, it's going to be in school, it's going to be in the trans reading programs and the programs where these folks are non-binary and they take these little puppets and whatnot. I saw one the other day and I found it interesting that this young lady who was non-binary said that she's white and she's holding a puppet that's black, and it's looks like a boy, but she's saying that but he's non-binary, and the kids are sitting up going around. You know how kids chant out all of the thing at the same time. She's non-binary. So then the kids say, well, so it's okay. I can be a boy or a girl, but they don't see the significance in that. You are convincing this child that they can be something that they can never be. You're convincing them that that's all right. You are initiating a program that is destroying their primary programming, their way to interact with their surroundings, their environment that's already there. You're basically overriding their program. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, our relationship with global partners and brands have never been stronger, and our progressive approach continues to position us at the forefront of our industry. Miss Universe Organization Chief Executive Amy Emmerich and President Paula Shugart said. Okay, so we have women running this organization, and these women are basically have taken the place of the men who used to run the organization. And I guess men don't know what's attractive, what's feminine, what we're going to like to see as far as what we're looking for in a woman. So now women are doing that, which, I guess that's okay. It's kind of strange to me, but okay. So, but like I say, who better to tell you what a man wants than a man? If you want to know how to catch a man, you go talk to, a woman. If you want to know, what a man likes and wants, you go talk to a man and he'll tell you what he likes and wants. And then, you can go get him, it's simple. If a man wants to know something that is not within the realm of what he knows, he's going to go ask, to get the information from where it comes from, no matter where it comes from. But for some reason, women find this hard, to go about doing. So, okay, I'm off on the rant. So let's get back to the article. Okay, so the Miss Universe organization was co-owned by Trump from 1996 to 2015. The former U.S. president sold the company after two television partners said they would not broadcast the pageant over comments Mr. Trump made about illegal immigrants on his 2016 presidential campaign. Okay. He was also criticized when former Miss USA Alicia Mercado claimed Mr. Trump called her Miss Piggy. Okay. All right. Well, I know that's not nice, but I mean, you are on a beauty pageant, and I'm sure other women will probably call you things if you're a little big trying to be on these beauty pageants. But I think this was the beginning of, the body positivity movement. So now you have women who are clearly larger than the other women on the pageant, who are winning the pageants, who have been winning the pageants for years, since the 50s, so, if that's the standard, then that's the standard. If you can't meet the standard, then guess what? You can't compete. Sorry. It's just like cheerleading. If you're too big to be a cheerleader and you can't do the tricks and whatnot, then you can't be a cheerleader. You don't make the team. That's what competition means. You compete to win. But now the competition is being taken out of everything, and it's hurting everything from military recruiting to jobs, to school, everything. Everybody gets a trophy. Everybody's included. So, all right, the remarks were made when she put on weight after winning the contest in 1996. And 1996, the Venezuela-born model said, okay, well, when you win the pageant, you sign a contract. You are representing the pageant. You have to go around and advertise for the pageant and be a representative of the pageant and the company that owns the pageant. Those are the rules. Okay. If you can't hold that up, then you got to give up the title. You get kicked off. It's just the way it is. If that happens, to anybody else, those are the breaks. Shit, I couldn't keep up with it. I was eating those ho-hos and ding dongs. So I couldn't keep my weight down. So I just couldn't do it. Okay. Say you were bodybuilding and shit, and you were trying to, hit that weight and whatnot. And, you got to get down to that contest weight, but your ass keeps eating that bread and shit and milk and dairy products and all of that. So you're fat. So then when you go try to compete, guess what? You're going to lose. Not only are you going to lose, you're going to be laughed off the stage. But it's okay when it happens to men, but it's not okay when it happens to women and trans folks. Okay. All right. So, then it says, this person, I guess the owner now says, when I purchased the pageant many years ago, they were in serious trouble. Mr. Trump said in a statement following the company's sale to U.S. talent agent WME-IMG in 2015. It has been a great honor making them so successful. The pageants are now in the hands of a great company that will shepherd them to even greater levels of success. Okay, push for diversity. Miss Jakrajuda Tip purchase came as the Miss Universe Pageant has moved towards being more inclusive. From next year, organizers have said that married women and mothers will be allowed to compete compete for the title. Okay. All right. Well, that's moving away from tradition, because these women were basically, single women who were supposed to be the epitome of, a woman who would be like a perfect, wife. That's why the pageants, that's the history behind these beauty pageants. Okay. But that's fallen off, because like I said, the men are an afterthought now. But men were the people who watched these pageants, as well as, housewives used to watch these pageants, and women used to keep themselves in shape. But now we see where that's gone. Okay. So the pageant was previously only open to women who had never been married and had no children. Okay. So the pageant has been held annually for 71 years and is broadcast in more than 160 countries. So what kind of example is this going to set now? Now you can be a single mother, you can be anybody, and you just come up and you can be in the pageant as long as you are pretty and you're, at least somewhat in shape. So the standards have been lowered, and we've added in another group that, aren't really women, but they'll be added to the group. Okay. All right. So there we have it. That's the end of the article. And then here at the bottom, they show, these women who are not necessarily that small. They're kind of voluptuous and big waisted down here. And they all have crowns. Everybody gets a crown. Okay. So we're going to move over, and there's the owner there. And it looks like a Thai, I guess, woman with no breast and whatnot. And I guess, okay. All right. Okay. So then we go to Fox News here, and it says, transgender Miss Universe owner, woman's speech raises eyebrows on Twitter. Come on. Okay. It's not female empowerment when the first woman to own the Miss Universe Pageant organization was born a man, one user wrote. I agree. Okay. Okay. So, I guess Fox is running their own, little gambits here. Here's another little story here, talking about Idaho school board shuts down over concerned parents on transgender locker room policy. And I'll get to that later. Okay. So the new owner of the Miss Universe pageant gave a speech extolling the organization as run by women for women and composed of women as a trans woman. Twitter users had some questions. Welcome to the Miss Universe organization, JKN Global Group CEO Anna Jakratunatip said, told the live audience, okay, at the 71st Miss Universe competition in New Orleans. Okay. R. Bonnie Gabrielle, a model, fashion designer, and sewing instructor, ultimately took the Miss Universe crown, beating out 83 other contestants. Okay. And I dare say she's beautiful, but I'm a little afraid because I don't know if she's a woman or not. But anyway, let's move on. Okay. From now on, it's going to be run by women, owned by a trans woman, for all women around the world to celebrate the power of feminism, Jakratunatip declared as the audience burst into applause. Okay. Jakratunatip, who purchased the parent company of Miss Universe for $20 million in 2022, continued to celebrate a new era in the Miss Universe competition. Okay, and then we go back to what she said before: diverse cultures, social inclusion, gender equality, creativity, a force for good, and a force for the beauty of humanity. That's a lot on the plate there, huh? Okay, so, all right, I guess so. Okay, so Jakratunatip is well known in Thai reality TV star. She's a Thai reality TV star, okay. But some Twitter users debated whether women themselves were actually better off within a transgender organization, with a transgender owner at the helm of the Miss Universe. Okay. It's not female empowerment when the first woman to own Miss Universe pageant organization was born a man, conservative influencer James Bradley wrote. Excuse me. Political commentator Ian Miles Chong called out Jakratunatip for lecturing women on what it means to be a woman. Listening to that transgender Miss Universe owner lecture the public on what it means to be a woman really takes the cake. So then he says, the West is completely detached from reality. One user wrote in a response to Cheong. New Culture Forum founder and journalist Peter Whittle said that it is hypocritical for an organization designed to champion women should be run by a woman. The new boss of the Miss Universe contest proclaims it will now be run by women and will celebrate feminism, inadvertently forgetting perhaps that he is in fact a man. Okay, I see America is not the only thing to have gone to shit since Donald Trump stopped running it. El American editor Ben Q wrote. All right. So then you see the tweets down here. All right. Okay. And here is the speech. Hopefully it'll play here. I'll see if I can play it, and hopefully I won't get dinged for it, but let's go.
Welcome to the Miss Universe organization.
Holy shit. Okay.
From now on, it's going to be ran by women.
Women.
Owned by trans women. For all women.
Women.
That's a dude. That's a deep voice too.
This is wild.
For all women really around the world to celebrate the power of feminism. Diverse cultures. Social inclusion, gender equality, creativity, the force for good, and of course, the beauty of humanity.
That's strange. So, there you have it. You have a deep-voiced man who looks like a woman telling us about womanhood. Okay. All right. All righty. So anyway, there you have it. And, I'm going to, I guess, leave it there. And I'm going to, ask that you guys kind of let me know, what do you think in the comments? But before I leave you guys, I'm gonna let you hear a few other things where, some people have said some things on the TikTok. So this will be Tales from the TikTok. And you guys can touch on that in the comments as well, so that we can chop it up in the comments and discuss, what we think about these new developments with the Alphabet Mafia's advances in territory. So take a listen to this, if you would.
If everyone can be a woman, then no one is a woman. If feelings now drive and supersede basic biology, then anything goes and all societal constructs can be torn down and remade. I mean, that is the logical conclusion.
But if we cannot agree that that's a blue and gold tie and 2 + 2 = 4 and a man is a man and a woman is a woman, then we are headed into uncharted and potentially disastrous territories as society goes, and we have never experienced something like that ever before in human history.
This is a war on women, children, and the truth, capital T. And the enemy is disguised in high heels, lipstick, and a shaved beard, trying to slap down their flag, redefine words, and demand all obey or else.
The logical conclusion of policies that are catered to ideologies that are not based in any truth is utter and complete chaos. We are asking you to step in and to put forward an ordinance that will protect women and girls.
You have the option of protecting countless women and countless children. Protection from a man who feels like or identifies with a woman on any given day. I am asking that our council put forth a motion to discuss and review on the next agenda ending our lease to the Cameron Family YMCA until policy is changed that biological men stay out of women's locker rooms and bathrooms. I am a woman, and I say no more to men gender appropriating women.
About 60 years ago,
the LGBT community said they just wanted equal rights. They don't want to change marriage laws. They don't want to get involved with your kids or teacher in the school system at all. It's just about their freedom. They just want to live in peace in their own small communities. 60 years later, they're not satisfied with just living in a small community. They want the entire world to accept it or be canceled. They want the kids to learn it or be expelled from school. They want everybody to watch it, and if you say anything, you're homophobic. So now they want to parade it around everywhere. They have more rights than everybody else. They even got to the point of trying to change marriage laws, and they have. They forced the entire world. In fact, African nations can't even get grants from the United States or first world countries without accepting homosexuality. So what happened to this peaceful movement, this loving, non-forceful love is love movement, accept everybody? It is a lie. This is why God burned Sodom and Gomorrah, because that lifestyle of sodomy, according to the Bible, spread like cancer and destroyed civilization. And every time it started to grow in any historical civilization, it destroyed the community.